So we're gonna go live. All right, YouTube is live. Let's check and see. I always like to start TikTok a little sooner so you guys can get set up with me. Um, yeah, so we are live. Let's check this. So we're gonna go live. Yep, audio is good. Sweet. All right, let me what I like to do is bring the YouTube down here so I can watch for any questions you guys might have. So you guys can ask questions on TikTok. I don't really watch the TikTok screen until towards the end. So if you have questions, go to ATA underscore trader on YouTube, and so you can always watch this on YouTube, guys. I do watch the YouTube questions right in front of me, so I can answer those more real time. TikTok, y'all end up waiting until the end. So, but I do try to go through them. But I'm gonna go ahead and let me share my screen. Let's see where we're at, guys. For our plan today. So all of you that have been shorting Bitcoin since 31K and ETH since 2100, on the gap fill we've been talking about, man. I hope you guys are making some big bag. My ATAs have been killing it on those shorts. I've taken some, signal call shorts that we've done as well. I had a massive day on options yesterday. It was so cool. I want to kind of briefly talk about yesterday, right? And so the plays that we did, and so I left some of my trend lines up here, right? And so I'm going to take the indicator and just kind of mute that for a second, just so you can see the lines. And this is how easy these plays were. I mean, when you learn crypto and you go to options, you can make a lot, you could lose a lot, right? But the overall like price movement of SPY or SPX is just so much slower than crypto. It's like taking candy from a baby. So I am only staying put. So those of you guys who know me, how I trade when I scalp, I'm a zone trader. I'm a gap fill trader is kind of how I play it too. And you can see we have some highs here, right? And we have a big old gap. So as long as we have this big old gap that's not at least halfway filled, I will only take puts. I will take the occasional call if conditions are met. So like if we get into, this range here, or, we could probably pull this one down just a little. If we get into this range here and I see a double bottom, I mean, I'm not going to give up money, right? But other than that, I just wait for the opportunities for my puts. And I want to show you these ones that I played. I mean, these were so like apparent. And so I did those of you guys know, this was a couple days ago at Tuesday. I was playing this channel. It was riding the upper channel right here, right? But I saw the rejection candle off of this, right? And I was kind of early in the entry. I figured there might be, one more oscillatory move up here, but I was anticipating this rising channel would still break. Fortunately, I took the contracts here. It broke. I opened up about 700 bucks up on this one. And then the following day, you guys in the community, you were with me when we were doing this. Hey, good morning. And so we followed this channel. We took a early, put off of this one, nice little scalp. And then, guys, once we got up here, I was like, this is gonna, fall pretty good, right? So we ended up taking some more puts off of here. And then that ended up, obviously falling like crazy, right? And so we made just some crazy money. On Wednesday, I think I cleared around 1,500 or so on that one. And then so yesterday, this was the play that we were doing right through yesterday. Do, 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 do. Let me think here. Hold on. Oh no, actually, let me back up. This was not the 1,500. This was actually my big trade. Okay, so I saw. Let me walk you through this one. It throws me off a little with these market closes. Okay, so this was market close right here, right around this area, right? And so we were playing this rising channel, and then we saw this rejection candle here, right? With our bearish confirmation. It did try to hold, it broke it, retest, and then it did try to make one more effort up, caused another bearish candle, giving us kind of that double top, right? And so right at market close, I'm not a huge fan, like you guys know, of throwing out contracts on the market close, but I was like, man, this is going to be a big fall. So I took a 60 contract trade here, and it opened. You guys saw I put the screenshot out there. It opened at like $5,500. Let me pull this down here. And so I took. I wonder if I still have it. Yeah, let me see. So this was my open yesterday from this trade right here, right? I mean, what a great day to open it. So I actually ended the day. I took that profit. I waited. I think I took one more scalp here, and then I took one more in here, and ended up like I think I ended the day that one I'm around 6,600. So it was just such a freaking exciting day. But all I've done, guys, in the last 3 days is just played these rising channels and just scalped it down. So and these are basic things that we teach, in the academy on how to read these channels and how to ride those, right? So let's talk about where we are now on the SPY. So what did it? Let me a couple things on Friday. Remember, Fridays are fake out Fridays. Typically, we go one direction, flip the other direction, then we flip back the other direction. They're trying to trap contracts for the weekend. They're trying to trap, traders. They want their fees. They want their dues. Um, Keep in mind, we've been riding these channels mostly because we were in the upper range, right? So here we were in the upper range, obviously, right? Here we were at the upper range at the side over here. Now we're kind of, we've hit down here and we had a nice bullish push like this. And you can see it's based off of this previous support level here. So it's not the risk of how high we can go because there is an upper trend line here around 415 still that we could hit, right? Um, is a little greater than that profit that we could take, right? So here's what I would want to see for me to take another put. I would want to see us break this line, come up, and then I would take it on the retest down. That would be my next put. Or I'm going to wait until this comes up and smacks its head again here, and I may take a put somewhere around 413. If I see some kind of double top or a bearish candle formation, something like that. And then if it does break above this and starts to hold support, then my next area of interest is here. So let's say I take a contract here. My next series of contracts will be up here. So it's just build your plan, right? You don't need much on options, guys, if you are trading options. I talk a lot about options lately because I just love them. I trade crypto and I trade options, but we're gonna start um, our next phase of the academy is actually going to be focused heavily on options. So we're excited about that too. But so again, we did get a bounce here. My anticipation is, we'll probably likely push up here again to the 413 to retest that, and then we'll pull down. I think eventually we're ultimately going down to 407. So if you have a longer contract, you take it. That's fine. It's just going to retest this area. It's probably if not today, maybe Monday or Tuesday next week. So you can see on the SPX kind of collaborates what I'm seeing here. We have our downtrend line. We did hold support, kind of has like a little descending triangle kind of feel, right? You got your equal bounces and your lower highs. So we could see a high up as high as 413 or 4136, which would correlate with that SPY number, right? Before it breaks down. Now remember, these could break north, they could break south. So if we break above this teal line like this red and this teal line, then you may want to take that call. If you're like me and you don't want to take the calls, just wait. You don't have to ride this. I can make just as much money riding this, and it's a lot safer. So, um, but that's kind of my reads on those today. Looking at the Dixie guys, I put this out in the room. We're just ranging. It's just ranging. It's really not going to be a big move until it either breaks this green line or breaks this red line up here. So we got to get above like 102.38 for this really to push north, which would drive the markets like way south, right? Um, but for now we're just falling, and that's why you're starting to see some push up in the crypto markets, right? Because the Dixie's coming down. So, but just be careful on taking longs, on your crypto too soon. Be patient with your entries because the Dixie is near support that it just has not been able to break, right? So you're going to want to keep an eye on that. Bitcoin, let's flip over here. So as you guys know, I've been preaching this gap fill forever. I did a TikTok like I think 2 or 3 days ago that I said I think our first stop's going to be in this level here, right? 28.2. We hit that one. For the simplistic version of that, this is what we call an up, over, down, right? You had your kind of head and shoulder pattern here, and then that basically played. So this already played out. This pattern is now done, right? So now we need to see what's next. We could see a push as high as 28.9, right? 28.990 to reject off of this previous trend here, and then that could be the fall. Um, you know, we, it likes to bounce, up just as much as it likes to reject off, right? And we're in just such a weird zone. I still believe we're going to 25.2. We just have to break these levels in here. But I do think if we start to see like a push up and then we start to see that lower high, it could even be a slow motion kind of thing, right? Like you could take this trend line here like that, right? And it could literally be like a bump up, support, bump up, support, bump up, support, right? And then break down that way, right? And you look at this, I mean, this is like May 5th, right? So it could take some time still. Look how long it ranged right here. It just depends on a few things. It depends on the Dixie, depends on news, right? What comes out on how quickly that will come down. So, but temporarily, right now, we are near support. Um, if you're a bull, and you're running our ATAs, now's a good time to start turning on some longs, like I did. Because you can capture some oscillatory, pumps up a little bit, right? And the fall is not as far as it was, like say up here, right? So I've already turned on, I think two. We'll review those and see how those did. But so far, like I said, I suspect we're going to range here. There could be what Fridays love to do, guys. Sometimes is they love to pump like this. That's why I think this. And then they trap contracts and then they just reverse it and just dump on them, right? Um, I will tell you, the weekends are heavily dependent on what we're doing. Uh, in the stocks, right? So if you look at the stocks, if we close red, right, then the weekend is likely to bleed, and we may see this come sooner than later. If we close green in the stocks, then we're going to get a little bit of a relief, right, before we range a little bit and then fall again. You can still be bearish with these lower highs, right? It just may take time. Remember, crypto's not always in one direction. The only time that sends, crypto or markets like in a straight line like that is if we get some like crazy news, which could happen, right? You got the Coinbase thing going on. I mean that's massive, and it's so funny because I'll tell you, as a trader, there's always some news that's going to drive something down. There's always some news that's going to drive something up. Keep it simplistic. Don't try to chase all the news or whatever. Play the market, play the gaps, right? I mean, so much of this stuff is planned, it's not even funny, right? And so, you know, I see this like some people are going to say, oh, the only reason we pulled back is because Coinbase. Okay, maybe, but I see this as we had a gap fill because I just like to keep that simple. I don't like to get caught up in the news. Look at the history, right? No matter how it pumps, there's always some reason that, oh, this is why it pulled back. Okay, you can have your reason. I just see a gap fill. I traded the gap fill because it always gap fills. It just does. Um, so just keep an eye on that. Like I said, hopefully you guys been staying short, making a ton of money. That's mostly what I've been telling everybody in the community. Hopefully you guys in the community are listening. I know some of you had a really big day yesterday, so awesome job on that. But that's kind of where I see Bitcoin going. I'm not going to spend as much time on ETH. So ETH is just going to follow Bitcoin, guys. I'm going to mute these indicators just to make it easier for you to see. We do have some support in here for Ethereum. This was a range that was once heavy resistance, and it will act as support. I want to also show you, if you take just your basic, trend line like this, right? You have kind of a little bit of a, now the reverse, right? The falling wedge playing out. So we could see this kind of play out like this, come down, one more, push up to 1930, and then maybe a fall down to like 1880, and then we could see this. If this breaks out here, this is a mark you want to really, really watch, guys, because if this breaks this and retests this, that's going to play out, which is going to be that falling wedge, right? Which is going to pump us up pretty north. Probably even could be as high as a retest of 2K. It could, play off of this peak like this. So the market makers could push us up in a fake breakout, bump your head at 1950 and then reject it, right? So those are kind of how you want to play those channels. But just keep an eye. This would be if I'm trading this one right today. This is the channel I'm watching. If I'm here, on a rejection, I might take my shorts. Anywhere in this zone right here, I'm taking longs, right? Now, if we break below this red line here and this channel here, right, and we start to bump our head, it can't break it and reclaim it. Then this is all invalidated and down we go. So that's kind of the range I'm playing with ETH. I see, today or through the weekend getting as low as maybe 1870 or so before we get some pretty good bounces aside from news. And I see our high, getting somewhere around maybe 1950, something like that. If we break above 1950, it's definitely coming for this next peak, which is 1980. If we break above this peak here, right, we're gonna have a pretty wild breakout, and it's just gonna pump right back up. So typically, for those who guys who trade the patterns, right, you can kind of take that what that peak would be from the base. I mean, this is just rough, right? And you can take that breakout. So if I break out here, right, see your target would be somewhere in this range. If we break north, right? So just watch this channel. Not all patterns play out. Some are 60%, some are 70, 80%, but no patterns 100%. So you got, when you zoom out and you look, we had our fall one. If we were ranging more sideways, then I would say we have fall two coming. Or if we had a rising kind of trend, then I would say the fall two is coming. The only thing that worries me about fall two here is that we have like a falling wedge as far as ETH goes, right? So just keep an eye on that. We got about 15 minutes left. Let's go through our ATAs. I have Aave up. I was just looking at it, so let's jump into that one. Aave has killed it. Those of you who ran Aave that started that short, you guys just must be crushing it right on your Goliath, right? This one that I'm doing for the test account is Gambit. For those who don't know what the ATAs do, each time you see a red here, this is my short code. The red is where it took a short, where it sold it. So we create scalping, right, technology. So it's going to get in, get out, right? It's a lot safer than just trying to hold stuff. And you can see, look at this. I mean, through this downtrend, it's only DCA'd 1, 2, 3, 4 times through all this. 51 trades, 8 days, we made $100. Now, keep in mind that $110 is just one direction. That's just short. That's it. So let's just evaluate this because we have had our fall, right? So let's see where we are in the range. Do we want to stop this short? So we are getting kind of close. I'm going to let this play a little bit because it's done pretty well. But we did create a higher high here, right? So the anticipation is we may create a higher low. So it may get caught, but that's okay because I think we're only using, we actually have two DCAs on this one. You know what I'll do, guys? Let's do this really quick. I'm going to take the second DCA off. I'm going to show you how easy this is to do. You just take it off. You delete this one. And I'm only doing this because I know it was not in that trade. So go make sure you go back to the 1 minute before you create the alert. Otherwise, it won't be accurate. But see, I know I'm not in a trade, so I don't mind doing this. Then I'm going to hit the three dots. I'm going to add my alert, ATA, Gambit, Aave, short. And I create the alert, and that's it. I already made the change. So what I just did there is I'm not stopping my shorts, but I'm minimizing my risk by not allowing it to DCA 2 times. I will add that one later if I need to, if I get a parabolic move, right? And you can see it hasn't even needed it. So why put that risk out there? There's just no need for me to do that right now. So that's kind of where we're at with Aave. I don't think we have a long on Aave. Let's see. Yeah, just a short. So we only need to review the shorts on that one. So I'm trying to think. I might actually turn the longs on, guys, on Aave because like I was saying in the room, although I think we're still going down, I think I'm gonna turn the longs on. Let's try. Let's take a look at how it would have been done if it's stuck. Yeah, see, so long is actually stuck. So us not playing that long has been really a good call. But I think we're getting low enough in the range. I'm gonna turn it on the Ave long. So for those who want to follow, I'm long Ave parabolic SARs. This is just the strategy. You all know I love SARs for alts. We'll do one DCA. I'm not doing stop loss since I'm already short anyways. And I'm just showing you guys how quick this is, right? I just set the date. What I'm doing here is I'm just closing the candle. That's all I'm doing. I'm moving this candle up to start my session. And so I get that yellow candle. So I don't care what this is doing because this is like a wall. This means, okay, I told the ATA, hey, stop doing what you're doing, like start looking for a trade. I'm ready to start trading. You can see it cleared the profits and stuff. You see how quick I did that. And then all I do is just come in here, create my alert, double click it, ATA Gambit long, oop, Ave long. Let's see how that one does through the weekend. I'm only also doing this because through the weekends, guys, we usually do this. And so sometimes it's a good opportunity to really capture some wins, right? All right, so we're done with Ave. And you can see if I go to my alerts, I now have the Ave long and the Ave short. So the alerts, once you create it, that's just the to-do list. That's kind of where you're riding it. So let's check out ETH. So remember, we did start the longs on ETH. So let's see how that's playing out. So the shorts are killing it ever since it got out. You can see 19 days, it's made 200 bucks just on the shorts. This is all automated. I don't touch nothing. These are all the shorts. This is all the sells. You got, look at this DCA, perfect, boom, into a TP5. So shorts are still killing it. Let's take a look at okay, so remember I added this one because when it was stuck, right? I don't want that one to be there anymore. So I'm going to uncheck that one. And I'm actually going to uncheck this one because although I think we're going lower, I just, the lower we get in our range, pull that DCA away. Like put some eyes on it before it does it. I don't have to change anything else because I'm still in my trading session. It's not in a trade, so I can modify it. I just hit okay, now this is what I wanted to show you guys. Notice how I took that DCA away and it changed it. So this is where sometimes people freak out. They go, well, it changed it, Nick. Like, what do I do? The same thing you do when you set it up. You just simply come down to your date, right? Here, and you're going to just put the 2023, and then you're going to do 4, 21, 8, 51, close trade on chart. Let's do I'm -4. You can see how quickly I set that up. And everything else is the same. So I'm just waiting. It's thinking right now. You can see the little eyeball spinning. It's a lot of data sometimes, right? It's got to recalculate a lot of backtesting data, so it can take a second. There's the yellow triangle, so I'm just going to add this alert. Oh, actually, before I add this one, just so I don't get confused, because remember, I have to re-add the alert because I made some changes. So I do have to come in here to my ETH short alert and delete that. I don't want to double it, so then I'll be confused which one's which. So I deleted the ETH alert. Now we can double click this, ATA Gambit ETH short. And then we're back, right? I didn't change anything other than the fact that I'm only allowing it to do one DCA. This takes the risk off of your mind, right? You don't have to freak out going, man, how deep is it going to get, right? It's just one DCA. You got so much room to play with those. It's not even funny. So we're going to mute that. We're done with the shorts. Longs, look at this. This is what I love about our ATA, guys. Remember I started the ETH longs? So it's made 1560 in 2 days. But look at these DCAs in a downtrend. It's still making money going long. That's awesome. So look at that. It's taken this trade, DCA, got out. This trade, DCA, got out. This trade, out. This trade, out. This trade, DCA, got out. And we're not in a trade right now. So, I mean, ETH's killing it on the long. So we're in a really good position because we're just starting our shorts and we're in our longs that's not in a long. That is like the best position you can be in with these ATAs because no matter which way it goes, right, you're going to earn. So we're looking pretty good. But you look at the short was about 200 bucks. This is 15, about 215 bucks or so from ETH. So I'll take it. Let's see. I know we have Sol, I think, still. Oh, Matic Long. Let's take a look at that. I think my Matic Long did get caught a little bit, but we are, we do have our falling channel. And the thing is, we have only DC'd one time, right, purposely. So let's evaluate where another DCA that could be good is. I think, let's go to the hour. We're getting pretty close. Yeah, see, we're at this channel here. And we do have support here. So we can just throw a DCA line just below it, I think, and I'd be okay with a DCA2 there. So all you have to do if you want to add this DCA into here, right? We know it's not going to get out anytime soon, so I can just go ahead and come over here and delete this alert because I know I'm going to make some modifications. All right, and then all I'm going to do is hit this settings, and then I'm going to add DCA2. Now I have to see how does it change it when I add that DCA? Where does it add that actual line? See, if I leave it there, it would have already did the DCA, so I can't have it there. So all I do is I just come down here and just put like 8%. Let's pull that down. And you're going to see where it pulls this white line down. And we want to make it to where it's just below. So there you go, right here. So we're just below. So what does that mean? That means that it will either let it go up until it gets out, or it's going to wait until it clears this line before it allows it to even the opportunity to DCA2, if that makes sense. So I'm comfortable with that. I have a 5 times multiplier. So I have my entry, which is 1. I have DCA1, which is 3, and I have DCA2 that's going to be a 5. So what that means is it's going to take my entry and where I DCA, and it's going to cut that entry down a little more than half. So which is huge, because if I DCA here, my entry will go from here all the way to like in this area, right? Which has been a pretty known support. So that's kind of how I calculate all that in my brain. Um, so let's go and it's kind of disappointing a little bit for Matic so far because we started it. It took one trade and then got caught. But this is why we set up that one DCA, right? So that way it you can put some eyes on it. So we did already delete the alert. I'm gonna add this one here. ATA Gambit Matic Long. All right, Matic, don't let us down, right? We're gonna push out of this one. All right, let's close that. So the next one we have LTC and Sol. Those are the two. So let's check. I don't think we have any other longs. I think everything else is short. Let's see. Yeah, we only did Matic and ETH long. So let's see how LTC short has been doing. I think it's been killing it. Oh yeah, it's been killing it. I mean, look at this thing. LTC is a beast. Like you guys know, I mean, whoever's running LTC, if you had that beef, that was another trade. Whoever's running LTC, you guys know. I mean, it's just a beast. It hasn't really had to DCA more than one time. It's currently in a short. It looks like one DCA. I mean, super close to the entry, so I'm not worried. I do have 2 DCAs in here. I do have this one as a 3. Some other things you guys can do, don't just get comfortable with like, well, I'll just leave it. It's been doing well, right? We know we have a support level in here, right, that it's trying to do. We do have like a little descending triangle, so that could break south, but we're getting into just a lot of support. We still have room to go down. What I'm going to do is I'm going to come in here and I'm going to take this ability to DCA2 out, just like I did on the other one. Even though I'm in mid trade, it's okay. You can still modify it because it hasn't happened, right? It hasn't happened. So all I have to do still, just like the other one, is I just taking it out is way easier because all I do is delete the alert. Make sure you delete the right one. And we go here. We're gonna double click this, ATA, Gambit, bit, LTC short. And that's it. It's that fast, guys. So now what I just told my ATA is, look, I get you're in a trade. I get you've already DCA'd once, but I'm not allowing you to DCA a second time. Either this thing is going to run or we're getting out. That's it, right? It takes the stress over the weekend of me thinking like, man, do I got to watch this? How deep is my ATA getting? Blah, 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 right? I'm not going to do longs on LTC, although we could go way up. Yeah, although we can go way up on it, back to that dollar. I don't know if I'm not that comfortable, guys, because I still think Bitcoin's got some room to pull back over time here, and I'm just not that confident yet on that for LTC. So I'm just gonna, I may reevaluate this like tonight or tomorrow. We'll see how the market closes, but I don't want to overextend my lungs. Let's check Sol. This is another one I've been running shorts on. Man, when you're running shorts and it's off the screen, it's probably a good sign, right? Holy cow. Sol, look at this. Playing out for me. I mean, all these shorts just killing it, right? I mean, I caught this one. It got caught and closed it a little soon, but that's okay. It's automated. I didn't do anything. It's not in a short currently. So let's reevaluate Sol. So just like the others, I have a 2 DCA protocol. I'm gonna uncheck the second one. I don't want it. We're getting lower in the range, so I don't really want them to to second DCA that quite yet. So let's take a Sol out. I hope you guys see, like, I'm doing the same thing over and over, right? It seems like a lot, but it's really not. Um, it's all the same stuff. So, so we created that alert. Now we're back in action, right? It's still trading. I didn't change the code. I didn't change the series. All I did is I just said, look, you can keep going, but you ain't DCAing too, right? That way, if it gets stuck, we got room to play. So, but I'm gonna let it keep playing out. So it's done pretty well for me so far. 5 days, this one's made $36. So. Yep, guys. Okay. So we got Soul done. I'm not running long on Soul. Nope. So we're gonna just flip over to, I think that's the last one. What do I got? It's 9. Let me briefly look at XRP. See, guys, although this was holding support, I didn't want to run the long here because we're too high in the range. A short would have played out, but I didn't, we had Rise 1, Rise 2. There could have been a Rise 3. It just, XRP was too risky. For me to jump back into XRP, guys, on my ATA, I would like it to hold this range or hold this range. So if I see it pull down, support, then I'm like, okay, let's get back and we'll start running XRP. But until then, I just have too many other options. It's not worth it for me. Doge, let's see. Look at this. The old Doge pump and dumps, right? As a live trader, these kind of moves are amazing. As the ATA trader, we really don't like a lot of these type of crazy moves, right? Because it's how things can get stuck, right? And so we're actually, if you go to the 1 hour, you can see on Doge, I mean, all they've done is just pump it, dump it, pump it, dump it, right? That's why I'm just kind of staying away. Doge is near a line that was once support, that turned resistance, that's turned support, right? So we could hold support here and up we go. But at the same time, we could kind of have that two peak fall if we break the zero point 0.08. And that fall would be pretty nasty, probably all the way down to 0.06. So just too many. I, the perfect case scenario, guys, if you want to live trade these, man, big money. If you're running the ATA, right, you want stuff like this, right, where it's just kind of up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. I mean, it's just going to capitalize on all of those kind of movements, right? Um, this type of stuff is really great for live trading, but if you're in a long, it's awesome, right? But if you're in a short, um, it could catch you really, really bad, right? But I mean, obviously this plays out pretty well, but if we go parabolic, right, then now you can get caught. If you're running stop losses, right, this thing's going to trigger your stop losses all day long. So it's just not in a range I like, right, quite yet. So we'll hold off on Doge as well. So just to kind of recap, I'm running Aave long, Aave short, ETH long, ETH short, LTC short, Matic long, and Sol short. So I'm literally running, 7 directions. So you guys see that in like a few days, I'm making like 30, $40, 2, 3 days, each pair like that. That's per direction, per pair. So the ability of what you can earn on these is just insane, right? And what we teach in the room in our training, all of our videos and stuff, it teaches you how to range trade these. You don't have to enter these trades. It enters it for you. All you have to do is just tell okay, here's the parameters I want you to trade in. Go trade. And then you go do your stuff. You go about your day, right? So if you guys, are interested and you're not running these, I'm going to leave you guys with my last thing. I don't know if I have my window over here. So, um, If you come into here, you can sign up for free, guys, with just an email, no credit card. If you're not even sure if you can understand this, just click on training, and then it's going to open up. You see all this for free, right? You can see, creating the trading view, locating it, all, adding the ATA to Bodjock. All of our training is here, literally all of it. And so if you go through these videos, and they're not long, like adding your ATA to Bodjock. Let's play this one. It is 4 minutes and 35 seconds, right? So you can go through these videos, and if you go through them and you're like, man, it's just too much, I don't understand this, right? You could always, go to the academy, right? We have this academy that we're launching today, and this is literally what we're teaching, guys, is the basics of trend lines, support resistance, detailed candles, how we trade these. We have a course that is going to be specific to our technology, so that will help you. So check it out. Just, if you guys are interested, you guys can also come into the trading floor here, where we conversate within the floor, right? And even in the free, you guys can come in and say hi. But yeah, like I said, that's kind of where I see today going. Fake out Fridays. The trend likes to reverse. Pay attention to the patterns. Don't overextend. Don't get caught for the weekend. You don't want to stress about trades over the weekend. It's not worth it. So from the community side, I'm going to go ahead and cut it off. I like to keep that around 30 minutes. I appreciate you guys joining. Hope it helps. We are launching the Academy at 2 p.m. today, so I will not be opening our Google Meet right away in the morning. But what I want to do is once we launch it at 2 p.m., then I'm going to open that Google Meet from probably like 2 to 4 or 2 to 6, and then we'll just kind of hang out, trade that last part of the market. You guys can ask about the Academy, whatever. You guys can come on in. So that's kind of my plan today. So I appreciate you guys' time.